Hi guys, hope everyone's okay. So, Conor McGregor and Floyd Mayweather Jr. Okay, it's been talked about. Loads of people have covered where this fight is happening or not happening, etc. etc. I'm not here to talk about that. Okay, if it happens, happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But for argument's sake, if it does happen, let's talk about it. Let's talk about this fight, right? With Conor McGregor, the mixed martial arts fighter who likes to do a lot of striking, stand-up fighting, and Floyd Mayweather Jr. Now, I don't know much about Conor McGregor. I've seen him fight. I've seen him fight enough to understand the way he fights. However, I don't know the stats of his knockout ratio. I don't know the stats of his record. I don't know his background. I don't know about Conor McGregor's what weight he's at, and I don't know if the MMA have the same weight classes as boxing does, because a welterweight in MMA, I'm pretty sure I've seen that the pounds are heavier than a welterweight who weighs 147 pounds boxing. It's a boxing channel, so let's talk about it. I'm gonna say off the bat, right, and this might be ignorant on my part, and I don't like to be ignorant on making a video like this. It would be a ridiculous boxing match if Floyd Mayweather Jr. faced Conor McGregor. Because Floyd Mayweather Jr. would school McGregor so easily that it's ridiculous. And from what I understand, Conor McGregor is lower in weight. If that is the case, and I'm assuming this, right, correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section, right, if I am wrong, and I apologise, right, for my ignorance. But if Conor McGregor is coming from a low weight class, he's going to be giving up strength, weight, boxing IQ, he's going to be giving up experience in Floyd Mayweather. How on earth would Conor McGregor beat Floyd Mayweather Jr.? Explain to me. Now, let me explain to you in terms of MMA versus boxing when we jump in the ring. Mixed martial arts, right, have smaller gloves. Boxing have bigger gloves, which means that if your gloves are here in boxing, right, you can't get through here, you can't get through here, which means that you can alter your fighting style. All you got to do is stand like this, right, and you block open to come in. In MMA, you can't do that. In MMA, if your hands are like this, you can easily get through the middle and around the sides because the gloves are smaller. If you look at boxing history and how it developed over time, the reason that boxing has bigger gloves now is because it requires a higher skill set to be boxing with big gloves than smaller gloves, surprisingly. Okay? The reason being is because when you have bigger gloves, you have a better chance of defense. You have a better chance of blocking, parrying, right? With the smaller gloves, you can't block as effectively, and there's more knockouts, there's more blood, there's more cuts, and it doesn't last as long. That's why if you look at boxing history and how it developed over time from the Romans, right, who used to put leather on their hands, right, when they used to fight. You look at the gypsy fighters, right, who come out of Britain and Ireland, or, bare knuckle fighting we call it, right? Look how it's progressed. Boxing has bigger gloves now, and it was more appealing because of the sweet science increasing with gloves on, and the fights became more technical. There was more boxing in it, and just a few different reasons, right? But pretty much that's what it is, okay? The boxing got better. The technicality of boxing went to a higher level. It became more of a science. Okay, with the smaller gloves, it's not as much of a science because when you punch someone with bare knuckles, it's bang bang. There's not much defense. What the hell am I gonna do if I get into a street fight? I'm gonna try this. I'll get my ass knocked out if I try that. The street fight, right? You've got to literally like block with your elbows high like this, right? You've got to put your hands literally right that if a punch is in a street fight, your head movement's better off, right? You're better off with head movement because when someone punches you in a street fight, okay, you can't. It'd be foolish to be trying to use a shoulder roll because you can't use a shoulder roll in a street fight, and you can't just put your hands up like this because when your hands up like this, look how many gaps there are in between. If you've got gloves on, you can put your hands up, right? You can use your shoulder roll, you can block like this. Street fight, you've got to use your arms, you've got to use your elbows, you've got to use head movement, and that's just the boxing part. In the street fight, you've got to use grappling, kicks, everything, right? So MMA is a totally different game. Conor McGregor, his fighting style is diluted. What do I mean by that? His skill set is not in his hands. Although he's a striking fighter, right, his skill set isn't in his hands. Conor McGregor's skill set is in his legs, hands, in him being able to grapple. He has to concentrate on a variety of different things. Okay? It's like comparing, right, a fighter like Mayweather and Maidana, right? Or Mayweather and who's a power puncher at 147? Keith Thurman, right? Let's say Maidana. Maidana's a better example, right? Chino Maidana, what is he? He's a power puncher, right? At the end of the day, he's a boxer as well, right? He can box, blah, 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 okay. But he's a power puncher, right? If you put Maidana on a machine which tests punching power, and you put Mayweather on a machine that tests punching power, who's going to be the bigger hitter? It's gonna be Maidana. That's what Maidana does. He's a power puncher, knocks people flush out. Get Ali, get Tyson. right? Who's going to punch harder on a punch bag? Tyson. Why? Because that's what he does. He knocks people out. Mayweather Jr., who's going to be the better boxer at him and Conor McGregor? It's going to be Mayweather. Why? Because he concentrates solely on this, whereas Conor McGregor has to concentrate on a variety of things. Mayweather has experience. He's undefeated. It's not going to be Conor McGregor that beats him. It's absolutely ludicrous if you think that. Conor McGregor, good fighter, but if he's coming up in weight as well, I think Mayweather Jr. would knock his ass out because we've seen Nate Diaz outbox him. What do you think Floyd Mayweather is going to do to him? It's a ridiculous fight, a big money fight. I'm not a fan of it though. I don't like it. I think MMA is MMA, boxing is boxing. Keep the two separate. And I'm with Floyd Money Mayweather all day, every day, all the way with this one. Floyd Mayweather Jr. is a brilliant boxer, and he schooled Saul Alvarez. Just that's it. Just leave it at that. He schooled Saul Canelo Alvarez. Catchweights, young, 23, 21, however old he was. I don't care. I don't even need to name any other names. I don't need to name De La Hoya, Pacquiao. Oh, damn, I'm already doing it. No. He schooled Canelo. That's enough. Canelo. See the size of Canelo compared to McGregor. How hard he could punch. And he's been boxing for 40-something fights, right? Conor McGregor? Really? He's that small compared to Mayweather? And you think he's going to come into boxing and outbox Mayweather with the big gloves on? Get right. Comment section below. Subscribe as always. In a bit.